Inside the brain of a dictator, the science behind absolute power. Why do some leaders become obsessed with power? Why do they stop listening to others, convinced that only they are right? Why do they lose touch with reality, treating disagreement as betrayal and surrounding themselves with yes men? Welcome to Believe It or Not. Today we explore the psychology, brain function, and even genetics behind the minds of dictators. Scientific research shows that power actually alters brain function. Studies using brain imaging reveal that people in power show reduced activity in the mirror neuron system, the part of the brain responsible for empathy and perspective taking. In simple terms, the more power someone holds, the harder it becomes for them to understand what others feel or think. This is called the empathy deficit. Psychologist Dr. Keltner calls this the power paradox. We gain power by being good listeners, but once in power, we stop listening. Genetic and environmental factors play a crucial role in shaping a dictator's mind. Are dictators born or made? The answer is both. Some studies suggest that genetic factors like variations in genes regulating dopamine and serotonin can influence impulsivity, aggression, and narcissism, traits often seen in authoritarian personalities. But genetics is just part of the story. Childhood environment, early trauma, and lack of emotional validation can also reinforce a self-centered worldview. Delusions and cognitive biases play a significant role in shaping the mindset of dictators. They often develop a skewed perception of reality, believing in their own infallibility and dismissing any evidence to the contrary. This distorted thinking can lead to catastrophic decisions and actions. Dictators often show signs of delusional superiority, believing their opinions are infallible. This is linked to a cognitive bias called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less someone knows, the more confident they become. Combine this with power, and it becomes dangerous. When no one challenges them, confirmation bias kicks in. They only see evidence that supports their beliefs and ignore everything else. In some extreme cases, dictators exhibit traits similar to narcissistic or antisocial personality disorders with grandiosity, lack of remorse, and manipulation. Isolation and paranoia are common among dictators. As they consolidate power, they often become increasingly suspicious of those around them. This paranoia can lead to purges, constant surveillance, and a general atmosphere of fear and mistrust. Over time, the isolation only deepens their delusional thinking and cognitive biases, creating a vicious cycle that further entrenches their authoritarian rule. Why are dictators so paranoid and isolated? Power often leads to social isolation. Advisors fear telling the truth. This creates a feedback loop where the leader becomes increasingly disconnected from reality. Neurologically, chronic stress and isolation can shrink areas like the hippocampus, which is critical for memory and perspective, while overactivating the amygdala, the brain's fear center. This neurochemical imbalance fuels paranoia, poor decision-making, and even hallucinations in extreme cases. The possibility of change in these leaders is a complex topic. It requires a deep dive into the mechanisms of power in the human brain. So, can these leaders change? Sadly, not easily. Once the brain is rewired through years of unchecked power, neuroplasticity works against humility. Their identity becomes entangled with control. The only real cure is systemic change education, free press, and institutions that prevent the rise of unchecked power. In conclusion, understanding the science behind the minds of dictators is crucial. It provides insights into how power corrupts and how we might prevent it. Understanding the science of tyranny helps us protect democracy, because behind every dictator is not just a flawed system, but a flawed human mind. Believe it or not, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel.